I would like to share 10 of my favourite electronics, starting with what I particularly like about low voltage fluorescent lamps is that they are compact and easy to carry around, especially the units which are battery powered, like this one here. Typically, the low cost units emit cathode preheating of the fluorescent tubes and therefore shorten their life, but better ones usually have it. I tried making some fluorescent inverters myself from various circuits from various sources, and they all worked fairly well. When I was younger, I built a small DC to AC inverter which worked fairly well. After examining and sometimes making circuits of DC to AC inverters, as well as uninterruptible power supplies, I knew how they worked and what to do if they did not. Earlier inverters used a large EI core transformer, but most modern inverters now use a small high frequency E core transformer to convert low voltage to high voltage for AC inverter stage, and this is generally more efficient. With most pure sine wave inverters, the high voltage DC to AC MOSFET or insulated gate bipolar transistor heatsinks are not as large as you may think for the large output wattage, since the inverter is class D, digital, and in such inverters, the MOSFETs or insulated gate bipolar transistors switch very quickly without being partially on. There is even a short microcontroller program for a pure sine wave inverter out there. I decided to try modifying computer power supplies for various outputs after reading the October 2003 issue of Silicon Chip. At one time, I modified old school computer power supplies, the ones with a TL494 or KA7500 or equivalent, with two power transistors in a half-bridge configuration with an artificial center tap through a pair of 200 or 250 volt electrolytic capacitors, but now I only modify computer power supplies which have active power factor correction, which are more efficient, but I still modify brick units regardless. What I particularly like about small LCD monitors, which are battery or 12 volt powered, is that you can display a picture or video of them after trying to find the video input for them. I have even turned some of them into small TV sets. Nowadays, there are pocket TV sets which can pick up digital stations, most of which can also play music and videos as well, and digital tuners for smartphones and most other handheld devices. I used some less valuable colour pocket TV sets to convert black and white micro TV sets, the ones which are more valuable to me, to colour. I like two-way radios is because that they can be programmed with whatever frequency and bandwidth, and even signalling options such as CT, CSS or cell call you like, provided you have a transmitting license for a particular frequency. The UHF CB channels in Australia are license free, provided that power limits are respected, with the VHF marine frequencies transmitting only requiring a certification in marine radio use. My favourite brand of two-way radio is Motorola, of which I have, in the majority of cases, seen this brand on the microphone attached to the shirt pocket of police and security personnel. Even though new PDAs and smartphones do not come with infrared these days, except for Japan where infrared is still popular, I found that most of them can be used as a learning infrared remote control. The infrared data port is two-way. One problem with infrared ports is that transmitting distance can be limited unless you add an infrared repeater to them. Depending on storage space on your device, you can store dozens, even hundreds, of infrared remote controls on it. I like set-top boxes with USB recording functionality, and I've even upgraded the firmware in some with USB playback only functionality to full USB recording functionality. Often, I use the boards from them to add built-in digital reception to a 12 volt TV set, such as my AWA C201 or Mitsubishi CB100, of which resembles the Commodore PET computer. Some of the remote control codes for set-top boxes are a bit exotic, with some requiring me to search or even request a particular code list. A couple of years ago, I saw an ex-hospital 15cm colour TV at my local junk shop, Trendy Trash, and decided to get it, and I learned how to fix it. My favourite set here is the AWA C2201, a rebadge of the Mitsubishi CB100, of which resembles the Commodore PET computer. Later on, I had an idea of converting black and white 12V TV sets to colour, with some manipulation of the chassis, such as the National Panasonic TR475 pop-up TV radio, as well as a number of retro and army-like sets, such as the National Panasonic TR505 Ranger and the Philips P45, aka Sharp Sidekick, as well as a few stereo boombox TV sets. Imagine the demand if they were in colour! My number one favourite piece of electronics is the infrared remote control. During a search for a factory reset code for a universal remote, I found that some universal remotes can be connected to and programmed with a computer, and the learn functions can even be extracted as well. This helped me rebuild a remote for several devices of which the remote control was missing for them. I have a remote control database covering over 100 remote controls, with a few of the remote controls being from clients and friends I have visited. Did you like this video? Please be sure to rate it with 5 stars if possible. This shows the genius within, and be sure to look out for other videos like this from me in the future.